Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambo channel. As you well know by now, the SEC is seeking to appeal Judge Torres' decision in the SEC v. Ripple case, as it pertains specifically to programmatic sales with Ripple and all other sales that are not institutional sales. And comically and enjoyably, as it turns out, Coinbase is effectively calling the SEC's bluff and moving forward with certain XRP activity. And this comes, over a month after they've already relisted XRP on their platform here. Also, I want to share with you something that was just kind of, cathartic to me, at least. There's no shortage of XRP haters out there, and it's almost completely irrational. It's along ideological lines. There's a lot of, the Bitcoin maxi cult types out there. And there's just one individual who shortly after the lawsuit dropped was insisting that XRP is a security. And so I had a little bit of fun with that the other day. I'll show you exactly what I meant. And also I've got an update for you regarding SBF. That's right, that cucumber-loving son of a bitch. He's in prison now. He's in jail. And he's not very happy there. He's not being a happy vegan there. Look at this headline from the Daily Huddle. Sam Bankman-Fried subsisting on bread and water in prison, deprived of medication, according to defense report. So I'll share with you the specifics of that. And then after that, Attorney Deaton, and this is the real reason I wanted to highlight this and provide this particular update. Attorney Deaton, he's got a suggestion regarding the strategy, legal strategy for SBF, something that Attorney Deaton would support. But before going further, I do want to be clear, I do not have a legal or financial background of any kind. I'm not offering legal or financial advice, and you definitely should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. I'm just an enthusiast who enjoys making YouTube videos about crypto-related topics, but just as a hobby and just for fun. So here's a screen grab shared by my fellow XRP YouTuber Crypto Eddie, and she wrote the following. Adding XRP USD pair to Coinbase Pro. A governance index committee determined XRP traded volume and order book depth meets requisite criteria for re-inclusion to Coinbase XRP liquidity index by 24th of August. Programmatic sales to public and sales to Ripple Labs employees, okay. And so you can see here on the screen, the relevant part was really highlighted here. I'll just share with you this portion that I'm circling around right here. On July 13th, so this is from Coinbase. On July 13th, 2023, the U.S. District Court of the Southern District of New York determined that Ripple's XRP tokens, when sold on exchanges or through algorithms, did not constitute investment contracts. As a result, XRP does not immediately qualify as a security when it's been offered through programmatic sales to the public or distributed to employees of Ripple Labs. And so, folks, that's pretty straightforward. If Ripple's programmatic sales along those lines don't satisfy that, and Judge Torres has indicated as much in the ruling, well, nobody else's would either, any sort of programmatic sales, right? Unless there were a specific scheme aligned with that, but certainly not because of Ripple, duh, right? And so Attorney Bill Morgan retweeted that, and he shared the following perspective. And this is after the SEC made it clear it was seeking certification for an interlocutory appeal of the court's finding that programmatic sales are not investment contracts. Coinbase's lawyers know that this is now of little risk and probably advised Coinbase the interlocutory appeal will not even be allowed. Everyone but the SEC and a certain Fox News journalist can accept the result and want to move on. And so that's what Attorney Morgan said. Obviously, at the end there, he's referencing Charles Gasparino, who insists that this is going to be bad for XRP, which just doesn't make any sense. It certainly does not, because even if there is an appeal, and even if the SEC were successful, and there was an overturning, that would apply only specifically to Ripple's transactions with XRP, and not included in that was Judge Torres' ruling, her decision that XRP itself is not a security, because that was not part of institutional sales. It wasn't part of programmatic sales. It wasn't part of any other type of sale in general. She just cited it on page 15 of her ruling. And so it doesn't matter. And that's why Attorney Hogan was saying, even in the earliest days, he's like, this looks appeal perfect, because it's not something that Judge Torres was even asked to rule. How do you appeal something that the judge wasn't even asked to rule? And it's just part of law now. It just is. So that's very clear. And as a result here, despite all of the strong talk from the SEC, the point is Coinbase is moving forward here. They're like, yeah, we don't care. We're just doing our XRP stuff now. You love to see it. You love to see it, right? Isn't that awesome? I think it's rather fantastic here. And then somebody named Crypto Lover wrote to Crypto Eddie and said, "You are a pitbull fact hunter. We love it." To which Crypto Eddie responded, "Just don't post any fabricated image. I get a little heavy-handed, I'm told." And so obviously she's referencing some of what I've been talking about the topic too the last couple days, where there's been all sorts of nonsense hype and just absolutely fabricated images being touted by larger influencers on social media, just manipulating people, tricking them, all for likes and follows to make their accounts larger. And so that's what she was referencing right there. But, you know, large accounts say wacky, weird stuff, sometimes even outside of the XRP community. Here you have, and look, what's being cited here, you can see, if you're looking on your screen, you can already see. There's a post from Mike Alfred, who's fairly well known in the world of crypto, 132,600 followers. He describes himself as a recovering tech entrepreneur. And he's talking about Binance. Now, look, I have no reason to believe that there's something actually fundamentally wrong with Binance or Binance US. I do remember talking earlier in this year, or maybe it was late last year, about CZ specifically, because he was behaving weird in an interview. And that's as far as I took it, though. I wasn't making any assertions that there's anything wrong with Binance, this or that, because there was no evidence of it. I was just noting that he was behaving weird. That's as far as I've taken it. But Mike Alfred here, he's talking about, you know, Binance shutting down withdrawals for customers. Like, literally, here's the post from him. He said, "CZ is dumping Bitcoin again today, trying to hold up the value of BNB. It's not working. BNB is bleeding out. I expect a $200 break, potentially within 48 hours. After Binance shuts withdrawals for all customers, Bitcoin will rally. Could even see a God candle. Will be fun." All right. So, again, that just seems like a bunch of FUD. I just, if there's something to it, there's something fundamentally wrong, okay. I would need to see evidence. This is an assertion without sufficient evidence. There's no evidence. But that was retweeted by Peter Brandt. Now, Peter Brandt, credit to him for being famous in the world of charts. He's been doing this stuff for decades. He hates XRP. He literally thinks that it's a scam. He has said as much quite literally over the years. XRP is a scam, and he believes it's a security. But he's famously known for calling the top of the Bitcoin bull run in late 2017. He also called the bottom, a year later, middle of December 2018. So people follow him. He's got almost 700,000 followers on X, formerly known as Twitter, for a reason. And so people enjoy hearing from him. So he seems to buy into this idea, though. And he said, "I have stated for years that CZ and Binance is a global scam and BNB just a cheap fiat. Watch it all unravel." And so I'm looking at this, I'm like, okay. Look, folks, I'm not making any assertions about Binance specifically. If it were actually found to be a scam, you can go back to the video, I'll just be like, okay. But what I'm saying is, if you're going to actively, to the affirmative, yes, you're going to say, yes, that's the case. Shouldn't there be some sort of evidence that's the case? Or is this just Peter Brandt, who maybe he's reasonably good at the chart stuff, having a bunch of bad opinions in crypto like he normally does? Because from what I see is he has a bunch of silly nonsense opinions and stuff outside of the charting realm in the world of crypto. So he says that, again, I already told you, he said that XRP is a scam. Ripple's just propagating a Ponzi. Now he says Binance is also a scam. And so I responded to him because I was rolling my eyes reading this stuff, honestly. And I wrote to him and I shared this article. I don't need to pull it for the purposes of this video, but I knew that he had said the same crap about Coinbase. Like, Coinbase is going to fall apart. So I shared with him an FX Street article, and it's from 2021, and I just wrote to him, and it's just a fact. I wrote, "Here's a 2021 article where you cite Coinbase may go bankrupt." Just right there. So he said that Binance is screwed, Ripple's a scam, and Coinbase is also just going to cease to exist. And that was over 2 years ago. That really hasn't panned out very well for him. And then after that, I was thinking, you know what? He said some BS nonsense about Ripple and XRP. Let's go ahead and take a look at exactly what he has said. So here's a post on X, which was then known as Twitter. There's somebody that wrote the following. Somebody named Civil Smite. He wrote, "On one hand, I'm pleased Ripple..." This is December 29th, 2020, so about a week after the SEC sued Ripple. And he says, "On one hand, I'm pleased Ripple is reaping what they've down." I'm thinking, I guess what they've sown is what he meant to write, but he wrote what they've down. And then he says, on the other, I don't want the SEC meddling in crypto, but I'm leaning hard towards good riddance XRP. Okay, so there you go. Another XRP hater out there because reasons. Now, Peter Brandt responded December 29th, 2020, a week after the lawsuit dropped, and he said, SEC is meddling in a security, not a decentralized crypto. There you go. So XRP is a security, not a decentralized cryptocurrency. And so I shared that screen grab right there with that tweet from December 2020 from Peter Brandt, and I gave it to him, and I wrote, here's your 2020 tweet saying XRP is a security. It's paired with a screen grab of a 2023 legal brief from the SEC in which they admit and indicate, number one, XRP is not a security, it is computer code. And number two, the SEC will not be appealing the judge's decision that XRP is not a security. And so to me, that was kind of cathartic. It was kind of nice. And, all I did, it's not like I'm coming at him and attacking him. I'm just saying, here are things that you said in the past. That's all I had to do. And he's chosen to not respond. I think there's about a 0% chance that he didn't see this. He was responding to other stuff in the thread. So I think he just chose to not address this, the wrongness of what he asserted so confidently, undeservedly confidently, I would say. And so what I'm sharing here is a recent SEC filing where it's literally said, like I've covered this on the channel before. It's the SEC saying that they are not seeking an appellate review, meaning that means that they're not going to appeal the fact that underlying assets, in this case they're referencing specifically XRP with other assets, they're not going to appeal the concept that it's just computer code with no inherent value. They wrote that. So Peter Brandt says XRP is a security, and the SEC says no, it's not. The SEC says it's computer code, and it's on the screen, and we're not going to appeal it. That's what the SEC says. Fun times, Peter Brandt. Just saying, fun times here. And then there's this. This is the headline that caught the attention of John Deaton from Zero Hedge. Bread and water. Bankman-Fried denied vegan meals, Adderall, and is running out of antidepressant. Oh, poor little baby. Poor little baby. And so that was retweeted by John Deaton. And he wrote here in all caps, zero effing sympathy. And he blocked out the effing part. But even he did so. That's not me censoring it. John Deaton censored himself. Zero effing sympathy. Yep, same here. Same sentiment. Absolutely. So take a look. Here's some of the specifics. Here's an article from the Daily Huddle. Sam Bankman-Fried subsisting on bread and water, blah, blah, blah. Sam Bankman-Fried has reportedly only been eating bread and water in prison due to the lack of vegan options in his correctional facility. According to a report from Matthew Russell Lee of Inner City Press, the disgraced FTX founder's lawyers told Magistrate Judge Sarah Netburn in court on Tuesday that Bankman-Fried hadn't received his Adderall in 11 days and was only being served a flesh diet. Oh no. Mark Cohen, one of Bankman-Fried's attorneys, said that was making things difficult for his client, who reportedly follows a vegan diet. Oh no, the poor little baby on a vegan diet. He's always making things difficult for you. Oh no, you scam people out of billions of dollars, you damn asshole. No, I have no sympathy for that. And here's a quote from the attorney. They are serving him a flesh diet. He is only eating bread and water and sometimes peanut butter. End quote. You ruin people's lives. Oh no, you've got bread and peanut butter. Shut the hell up. This guy is awful. What a scum. Judge Netburn reportedly said she would look into Bankman-Fried's diet and medication issues. And of course, if that name sounds familiar, that's because Magistrate Judge Sarah Netburn was also the magistrate judge in the SEC v. Ripple case, working alongside Judge Annalisa Torres. Piece continues. Christian Everdell, Bankman-Fried's other lawyer, also claimed that the FTX founder was dealing with Sixth Amendment issues. Quote, our client cannot prepare for trial. He was remanded since August 11th. No discovery for 11 days, 6 weeks from trial. It is voluminous. It can only be reviewed online. We have been offered only fictions as solutions. They mentioned Putnam County Correctional Facility, but we're told that's not an option. Then they said they'd ask the MDC if our client could have an internet-enabled computer in the MDC. Now the offer is to bring our client to this courthouse 2 days a week, 9 to 3. but that means it's gone from unlimited access to 2 days a week and not even full days. Even if he's able to look at it, he can't communicate his thoughts to us, end quote. And so look, I will say this. I find SBF absolutely repulsive, disgusting human. What he has done is just unforgivable. But the Constitution's a thing, and if there are issues on that front, I'm just a strong believer that we need to abide by that. And of course, fine, innocent until proven guilty. Yes, certainly from a legal perspective, that is true. He's innocent until proven guilty. But I'm telling you, there's enough information out there where I feel completely comfortable asserting he did illegal things and ruined people's lives. I feel perfectly comfortable stating that, and then just let it get technically, go through the technical process here. But yes, of course, even the most vile humans need to be able to properly represent themselves, if for no other reason than to ensure that confidence it lives as it pertains specifically to the judicial system in the United States, if for no other reason than that. Because there are also genuinely innocent people that need these protections. And so our society needs to see that exists even for the worst of us. Otherwise, you're going to have confidence eroded. That wouldn't be good. And it would just be wrong. If it's literally outside of the Constitution, I'm just against that here. So he does need to have all that. But I still am going to mock him because he's a cucumber-loving son of a bitch. And I just think that sounds funny because he loves to have cucumbers in and around his facial region. Then there was this tweet from XRP community member Wheezy. SBF is planning to blame General Counsel Ryan Miller for his fraud. Miller is former partner of Sullivan and Cromwell with Jay Clayton. Miller is also the one that wined and dined Dan Berkowitz of the SEC, which later caused him to step down. Getting spicy. And there's a picture of Ryan Miller, FTX General Counsel, on the screen right there with a beautiful smile. Look at that beautiful smile. And so Attorney Deaton retweeted that, and then he shared his perspective, and I rather enjoyed this. John Deaton said, "Let me be the first to say that I am 100% in support of SBF using the I followed the advice of counsel and was just playing the game defense. I encourage SBF to throw everyone under the bus in presenting his defense. All communications with all politicians and regulators, i.e. Gary Gensler, who supported his efforts and worked with him behind the scenes after accepting his donations, with customer money nonetheless, is fair game. Since SBF's state of mind, i.e. fraudulent intent, is at issue, and considering he can try and argue that all he was doing was playing the rigged game that was set up long before him, all of his communications with Ryan Miller and Miller's communications with everyone, including Sullivan and Cromwell and the SEC, CFTC, Federal Reserve, is all fair game. Communications with politicians like Maxine Waters, Senator Elizabeth Warren, and then he's got, who else did he take? This is the Democrat U.S. House Committee. Yeah. And then there was also this one, Financial Services, GOP, Senate Banking Committee members, etc. are also fair game. Everyone should tag SBF and I will help him, free of charge, to devise this strategy. Love this. Take them all down with you. And the media and others can join into the case to fight to make sure none of this evidence is sealed from the public. Oh, I love this. I'll tell you what, I never thought I'd see the day where Attorney John Deaton would offer free legal help to SBF. But hey, if it's in the context of this, I'm all for it too. Just take all of them down, man. I would love to know all the specifics behind all of this. Now, I don't know how much is going to come out. Hopefully a bunch will. As a result of the discovery process, but I don't know. It depends, because some they might argue they may have been arguing that it's not relevant to this or that. Maybe they get away with it, but it certainly doesn't look good, especially with all those SBF political donations to the Democrats. But we'll see here, folks. Anyway, I just got a kick out of that, so I had to share it with you. I'm not a financial advisor. You should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. That would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the moon, Lambo.